So, Ryan, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, no problem. Great to see you.
So, a few days back, I got a link through from you guys to your Headlamp 750, and I like headlamps. I use them a lot. I mean, it's pretty dark in the UK throughout the winter months. So, if you want to go outside running or climbing or walking during the winter months, unless you happen to have more time than than I have on my hands, you're going to be doing it at night. But the thing that impressed me in particular, there's a variety of things, but was the battery life. But before we get onto any of that stuff, tell me about the headlamp.
Yeah, thanks so much. I mean, great opportunity for us to talk about this product because it really is something we're very proud of and kind of represents the capstone in our family of headlamps now. So we've got a family of three headlamps. The new Headlamp 750 is sort of the pro performance high output member of that category. We're really excited. We're going to see just unbelievably bright life out of this product. Lots of runtime, like you talked about, and it's all part of the 3D Slim Fit family of products, which I can talk more about the details of.
Yeah, so the other two, you have got options for other lumens. What are those other two whilst we're on the matter?
Yeah, that's right. Like I said, it's a family of products. They're all 3D Slim Fit construction, which is Biolite's unique perspective on the headlamp category. So we use a lamination process and a combination of soft goods and hard goods to sort of encapsulate the plastics and the electronics into the band material. So that Lycra band is very integral. It just leads to a very streamlined, very slim, super comfortable construction. And so we've got three different headlamps utilizing that construction. The entry level product starts at 200 lumens. Then we've got an all-purpose headlamp in the middle at 330 lumens. And then the Headlamp 750, which is the real powerhouse if you need high performance.
I guess it allows you to sort of pick your level. And I'm assuming as well that it's like pick your price point as well, because I'm assuming as each one goes up, there is a cost attached to that. So the really cool thing about this is that we've got the three products that obviously fit three differing levels of brightness, but also three levels of price. So you can kind of buy the one that's the most appropriate for you. And I guess in my case, I just love bright head torches because you can see more. And I've been doing a lot of running this winter because it feels like in the UK, running's been one of those easy things to do with a lot of rain. Climbing hasn't really been that easy. And obviously the lockdown as well means you can't travel that far. So yeah, if you're hurtling downhill at speed, having that additional beam is a real bonus.
Totally. Yeah, that's right. You can really pick the lamp that's right for your application. So we've got the entry level headlamp 200 that comes in at 44.95. We've got the all-purpose headlamp 330, which is a really great running headlamp. That comes in at 59.95. And then we're extremely proud of what we've been able to do on the Headlamp 750, getting all that performance and really matching, what's standard in that high performance category at a really compelling price point, 99.95 US.
Which is, yeah, I mean, it's like you're getting quite a lot for your money there, especially with, I mean, again, going back to the battery life, which is what I started off at, with a lot of lamps in that category, going at that output, you can potentially be getting as little as like 2 to 3 hours. But that was not the case with the Headlamp 750.
Yeah, well, what we wanted to do with 750 was really give you full control over the way you want to use the headlamp. And there's something called a discharge curve, or like an automated dimming that happens across the board in almost all headlamps. You fire it up and it starts really bright, but then you'll notice it start to taper off over time. And that's, intentional to try to give you a good balance between the brightness you need as your eyes adjust and you're doing things and longer runtime. But the unique feature on the Biolite 750 is that we've actually got a switch on the back to toggle you between that automated regulated mode and a full constant brightness mode. So if brightness is your priority and you really want to hold those lumens, you can click into that constant brightness. And then the great thing about the product is at any moment in time, there's a boost button. You just grab on the back and it'll take you straight up to 750 lumens. So you hear that rustling in the trees and you want to check it out, you hit the boost and you've got a laser beam up there to check it out. And then it'll time out and kind of go back to where you were operating before.
The good news is in the UK, there's like a lot less creatures that could damage you. In the sort of, I know that you're en route to California, aren't you, at the moment? But a lot of big bears there. I guess if you're further up north as well, there's the opportunity for like grizzlies. And in the UK, I mean, I don't know what the worst thing we could have is like a badger or a fox, and it's probably running away from you quicker than you're running towards it.
Yeah.
Hey, so
oh man.
in terms of the lighting as well, because I know that, I mean, a lot of effort goes into the type of light you get in terms of the beam, the width, the flood. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, definitely. We've tried to provide, again, a lot of flexibility in terms of how you want to use the lamp. So there's a flood on the front for white. There's also a spot on the front for white to get that beam distance. When you go up to the full brightness, you get 130 meters of full beam distance. We've also got a red light mode on the front of the light to preserve your night vision and help you extend run times. As we're talking about lighting, there's also a red light on the back of the product. So in the 3D slim fit construction, we really want to balance the product and make it feel weightless on your head. So the battery storage is on the rear of the head, the lamp's on the front, and that rear module has a red light that can be set up and down. You can dim it and also go into like a flashing mode if you just need to be seen out on the road or on the trail.
It is useful because for a lot of people, they don't tend to just say, for instance, leave, maybe their car and end up in the hills. Like if you are leaving your front door or something like that, chances are you've got a bit of urban before you're getting out into the sort of great, the great unknown.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, just going back to your comments around runtime and extending the amount of brightness you can get, there's a couple other really great features that we packed into this performance headlamp. So the first is a reserve mode. No matter what you're doing with the headlamp, if you end up getting to the end of the battery, it's going to take you down to a dim setting, but give you another 8 hours plus of runtime. So if you're stuck out somewhere and you need to get home, you've got that 8 hours to make sure you get back. And we've seen some other headlamps out there using kind of the moonlight standard, something very, very dim to do that with. That's not always the most useful light. So our reserve is a more useful, 2 or 3 times brighter than that moonlight standard, which is great. And then the other cool thing is that you can actually charge or pass through power to the headlamp while you're using it. So if you happen to have a backup battery, or if you buy one of the Biolite charge series batteries that we might talk about in a minute here, you can plug the cable right in and pass power directly to the headlamp and essentially have unlimited runtime.
Yeah, that excited me because a little later this year, I'm hoping to do a long run that will inevitably involve me being out from literally sort of, sunset through to sunrise, and having adequate battery power without either carrying a fresh set of batteries or whatever is sort of impossible. So the option to charge it is actually quite like an interesting alternative to that.
Yeah, it's great.
The other thing I'm intrigued by, and I know that there is one of these headlamps in the post to me as we speak, and I was hoping might have arrived before today, but such is the nature of everything that's going on in the world. Because you've mentioned the fit, it looks almost like it's sort of a single piece almost is the way that it looks. There's no sort of, often, headlamps can have all sorts of cables and stuff basically coming out of them. This is a really slick design.
Yeah, that's something we really prided ourselves on. And, we've got just an amazing industrial design team that works on all the products and put a lot of focus on this product. And like you said, the goal was to make it really feel integrated and and sort of like one piece of kit. And so the transition from the band into the housing on the front of the headlamp is very sleek. It's not like one of these elastic bands with a big cantilevered box hanging off your forehead. It'll be really flush to your head. It still has adjustability, so you've got that tilt mechanism in a few different positions, but it'll feel weightless. And then to your other point about the cable, we've actually integrated the cable into the headband as well. So there's sort of a tunnel inside the band where the cable passes through and keeps everything really tight and compact. That helps you to not get snagged on anything as well.
Well, I'm glad it's arriving sooner rather than later, because now that the nights are still dark here in the UK, it's great. The worst case scenario for me is that it arrives in the middle of summer when it gets dark, like at about 10 to 10:30 at night. And I've got to go on some really, really late night outings in order to review it in a really probably quite light and bright twilight. So So hopefully we'll have a review published as well in the coming months. And
great.
yeah, after this conversation, I'm even more excited to give it a go. Hey, well, thanks for joining us there, Ryan. And let's cover a few other products just shortly.
Sounds great. Thank you.